Guys, it's here! Scream! Sonic 3 trailer is out and we are analyzing it today.
Sonic, you finally found your family.
Try to keep up.
I know it hasn't always been easy, but you didn't change who you are in here.
Yeah, in my lungs.
I love that they seem to have made a memorial honoring Longclaw. I'm glad that none of these movies forgets her.
Or your heart.
There's been a high-level security breach. And we need Team Sonic's immediate assistance. Project Shadow is far beyond anything we've ever encountered.
Okay, so we finally have our first really good look at him. I don't think I have any complaints here. He doesn't just look more angular than Sonic, he looks more bristly actually. And right here, his expression is horrifying.
Shadow's story began a lot like your Sonic. But where you found family and friends, Shadow found only pain and loss.
I appreciate that line quite a bit. It almost immediately frames Shadow not as a villain, but as someone who might not even be a threat if he wasn't so severely mistreated. I think I've said this before, I'm not on the edge of my seat to watch a little girl get killed, but at the same time, I do really want them to include that part of her story, or Shadow's story. I could see them toning it down to be more family friendly. I'm not saying they should, but I can understand if they do that. The only thing I ask is that they stay true to Shadow's motivation and background, and from the sounds of it, the way the narrator said loss, that makes it sound like yes, he definitely lost Maria. How? I'm not quite sure yet. I'm actually very curious how this one is going to go down in the movie, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. This other shot is probably him and Gerald Robotnik, maybe in the wake of Maria's death, but I think definitely in the wake of the destruction of Project Shadow.
Alright, we got a rogue alien on the loose. How do we find it?
Start with the giant fireball?
I love it. Let's start with a giant fireball.
He is much more impressive than the hedgehog I fought previously.
Dude, I'm standing right here.
You're a colorful bunch.
We don't want to fight you.
Actually, Sonic, I would like to fight.
No, no! My turn. Can we just talk about this?
Whoa, okay, so there's a lot to unpack there. First off, we got our first line from Keanu Reeves. If anything, he sounds kind of old compared to the rest of the Sonic cast. Well, I guess Knuckles would sound a lot older if he wasn't so silly and childish in the way he behaves sometimes. But yeah, I can definitely tell it's Keanu, and I actually really love the way he sounds. It's kind of scary because it does contrast the rest of the cast. They sound young, he sounds old, they sound kind of playful, he sounds dead serious. I actually find this shot to be the most beautiful so far. Like, look at the detail on that hand. I tried to find a good picture of movie Sonic's hands because my first thought was that Shadow's hands looks a lot different than Sonic's, like almost more human-like. His fingers look sleek and almost kind of sharp, but now that I'm looking at Sonic's hand close by, I mean I can see that the fingertips are a little bit more stubby, so I was kind of right. But the only other main difference I think is maybe the size, like maybe Shadow has smaller hands, and also Shadow's gloves appear to be made of leather and not whatever nice soft material Sonic's gloves are made of. And of course the obvious thing is that this fight just looks like it kicks ass. Similarly with Knuckles, it seems like Shadow was built up to be super powerful right off the bat. In Sonic 2, we established that Knuckles is a lot more experienced than Sonic and maybe even more powerful. So it's excellent that the first thing they show is Shadow absolutely smacking Knuckles. This immediately sends a message that we're in new territory and we have no idea what this guy can do, but it's a lot more than that.
He's too powerful. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we need you-know-who.
This is a bad idea.
When has that ever stopped me?
Doctor,
We have visitors.
this is sad, Robotnik. Even for you.
We need your help.
On one condition.
What? Do this!
If I can't rule the world, I might as well save it. I need room.
But, sir, I don't have the proper materials. Found some.
I am surprised that it seems like Eggman is actually teaming up with Sonic and the others. I didn't have a problem with that, I just didn't see that coming. In fact, Jim Carrey is about to break the internet, probably. I'm really glad he's back, that's for sure.
When we're done, there won't be anything left.
Hey, no cheat code! What did you do?
What I had to.
Oh, damn, this is looking so good. Shadow's voice is so gravelly, and Sonic sounds so intense here, like he is about to lose it. If I have any complaints about Sonic in this trailer so far, I think it's that we have these kind of awkward shots with him where his expressions seem a bit weird, like not matching the intensity of his voice. But I absolutely dig the nighttime in Tokyo setting, and this shot alone goes hard as hell.
Welcome home, my boy.
It's impossible.
Is it?
It couldn't be.
Couldn't it?
I am.
Are you? In the saggy flesh.
Dr. Gerald Robotnik, ladies and gentlemen. I was definitely not expecting him to be still alive. I thought we would have that creepy flashback stuff, and I'm sure we will, but he's also right here. I think I even remember seeing concept art with Gerald Robotnik's skeleton in it, so they must have gone a different direction, but I'm here for it. But earlier, when Shadow said something like, when we're done, there won't be anything left, since he said we, I think he's referring to him and Gerald then. They must be working together to destroy the planet, I'm guessing. That would be interesting if they were just trying to destroy Gunn, and that would be a lot more understandable, but since he said there won't be anything left, that really sounds more like they're just going to kill everyone. Now I know that's how it goes in the original story, so I'm not complaining. I just hope we get quite a bit of nuance and build up here, because that is an extreme stance to take. But even the trailer isn't making light of Shadow's pain, and it must be a huge deal. So I'm pretty optimistic about the writing for this character. And if Gerald is still alive, that implies another layer to his motivation. Yes, Gerald may have been a motivator for him originally, but in this movie he will be an active motivation. I just realized that this has the potential to be brutal. Remember how Robotnik and Knuckles worked together in Sonic 2? Robotnik manipulating Knuckles and lying to him? This ends with a big stab in the back as they had a deal and Knuckles assumed everyone was honorable. But imagine that coupled with unspeakable grief and basing the foundation of your partnership solely on that shared grief. I don't know for sure what they're gonna do, but potentially Gerald Robotnik could be a bit like a father to Shadow, just like Tom is to Sonic. Imagine the pain of realizing that your father and this person who has been through so much with you was actually just using you to his own end the whole time and never truly honest with you. Now obviously I don't know for sure if they're going to do this. It may be just that Shadow comes to see things differently once he remembers what Maria actually wanted. Maybe it will be Gerald who ends up feeling betrayed. I just see potential for there to be a really cruel contrast between Shadow and Sonic. And I already love the tone this movie seems to be taking. It is different than Sonic 2. Knuckles was very serious and he did have a personal grudge against Sonic, but the vibe is significantly lighter. It's mostly in the daytime and we have other funny things happening, and Knuckles is also just a funny character. But I really don't think Shadow is going to be funny. I think he has no time for that. The fact that he barely speaks in the trailer is a testament to that also. Knuckles only wanted to kill Sonic and retrieve the Lost Emerald for his ancestors, but for Shadow, Sonic and his team are not his focus. He has a one-track mind, and that is likely to avenge Maria and who knows what else, and it is so much more devastating. If anything, Sonic and the team almost seem like annoying problems he has to swat away in order to get to his goal. That is not what you want to hear as the main character of a show. You're like, look at me, I'm the one you want, fight me. But he responds by all but ignoring you? That's quite a flex, and I guess it's no wonder that Sonic needed Robotnik's help. It definitely looks like this movie will have a darker and maybe even heavier tone, and that's exactly what I wanted. I'm pretty impressed with this trailer, and I'm really looking forward to the movie. But what are your thoughts? Feel free to let me know in the comments below, and thank you for watching. Have a great week, everyone.